What's going on, everyone? I didn't even record picking up this car because it was a super short notice late at night. But we picked up this 07 STI out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm going to dig into it and see what's going on with the engine. I am for sure not fixing this one. It's got 230,000 miles on this. I think the highest I've ever had. I'm going to do a quick little update. Recently, I've been working on my brother's car here. We had to fix the front end on that thing. He hit a deer, so we put a new bumper on it. And then I had another similar project just like it for my brother-in-law. We picked up this 2010 Impreza for him with front end damage, and it's going to go up to Michigan Tech and hopefully be a good car. This one is mostly parted out, and probably in the next few weeks will be a shell, but let's get to work, see what's wrong with this engine, and then get to tearing it apart. The first order of business, I'm going to pull all the plugs, and then we're going to do a compression test. I just bought this thing, 90-degree impact, and I like it a lot. These factory intakes are kind of a rarity on these cars now. I'm always skeptical about a healthy Subaru engine that has 230,000 miles on it. Fresh air filter. One plug. Sort of smells like fuel to me. Normally the plugs aren't wet. Yeah, this one's not wet. With either fuel or oil. Let's check this side. The coil packs and spark plugs on this side of the engine are not nearly as friendly when removing. Ooh, this plug is loose. Oh my. Look at that. What? Must be dirty in there, but this was loose, so I'm wondering if this wasn't sealed, and that's why there's a bunch of junk around it. And look at the black all the way up to there. We'll have to keep this in mind. And this one back here is the least fun of all the cylinders. The spark plug is a little nasty looking too. Not quite as bad as this other one. All right, now we are going to pop the battery back in. We get to test out our brand new compression tester. I dropped my old one and it broke, so I bought a new one. We'll open that up here in a second. And then additionally, because I don't want to be spraying fuel into the cylinders, so I think I am just going to unplug the crank position sensor, and that will stop any injector pulse. Crank position sensor is located right there, that gray connector right there. So I'm gonna unplug that. Brand new Hobo Freight Special. You just screw this in, then plug this in and crank it over. All right, I will do this compression test and let you know the results. All right, so kind of interesting. All the cylinders compression tested very well, actually. They were all between 140 and 150 PSI, which is not very far off what these engines are new. I doubt this thing has, I don't know, maybe the engine's been replaced. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna clean the plugs and make sure they're all tight, and then put it all back together and take it for a spin. So my latest discovery, I pulled this thing up near the house and I was coming back to head out onto the road, and it started sputtering on me, and I know the fuel light's been on and I was gonna put some fuel in it and then it won't restart on me, but then I got the check engine light to come on, which it hasn't been, and it hasn't had any codes. And it is a cam sensor code, and it is for bank 2, which I have to double check, but I believe bank 1 is the side cylinder 1 is on, so cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, so this would be bank 2. It's tucked way back here, but I'm gonna make sure that this is the correct sensor, probably pull the intercooler off, pop a sensor in there that I've got. I wonder if that's why this died on this guy. The next clip, hopefully, I'll be popping the sensor in there. We'll see what's going on. Got the cam position sensor in. So far, No check engine light, but it took a while for the other one to pop back on also. So I'm gonna go drive it, see if it feels any different, and then kind of go from there. See if we get this thing to pop back on, or if that was the sensor was actually the problem. Let's go for a ride. So I just went out and drove this thing for 20 to 30 minutes with no problems, no overheating. I actually had my scanner hooked up to it, and I had air fuel ratio pulled up. I had cylinder like misfire / roughness pulled up, and coolant temps pulled up, and everything looked awesome. But I ended up just listing this thing for sale whole, and we'll see what comes of it. It's definitely rough, like I said, but if I have a car that runs and drives like this and I can just sell it, I'm gonna do that instead of parting it out. That way somebody can have a fun winter car, and I can move on to some other stuff rather than parting one of these out. So yeah, I'm surprised. I did put in a listing, obviously, that I just bought this thing and I plan to part out. So I just like to be honest that I am just turning around and selling this car. List it for $82.50. We'll see. I think it's a decent price for an STI, but with the issues it has in terms of rust and just the condition of the body, I think it's a fair price. So we'll see what happens with it. Dang, look at a spoiler on that.
Hey, it's a Cummins.
Yep, it really is.
It's my favorite.
Man. This is my buddy.
Right?
Yeah? Yeah, it's only...
Why get to my picture?
Sorry.
Why?
Alright, here we go.
Oh yeah, look at that. Perfect. Dude! What are you doing? We got quite the setup here. Way back to the driveway.
Yeah, here, you get in a...
This thing sounds horrific. Look at that, got a little crash bar beam on the front. Got some holes cut in the hood. Really low on oil, not surprising. Typically that is what it is. Ran low on oil and it rod knocks. All right, we are gonna have to move this thing again. I'm gonna wait till these guys take off. He said somebody bought that Mercedes for $35,000. Crazy. And they got a Raptor and then just a F-150 on there from auction. Goofy interior, nice gauges. I wonder if these are for the lights on the front. Access port. He said he had a bunch of goodies that he found that he threw in. I don't know what it is. New fender liners. That's nice. And like I said, we gotta move this thing, so we'll hear it run again, unfortunately. Okay, we've got 2 new STIs. You saw delivery of both, and I don't believe I've gone over this one, but it is pretty stock. I think we drove this one earlier in the video. Tomai downpipe, ETS intake, IAG stage 2 block. See if we can see it. Just see the edge of the tag. This one's got some serious oil in the coolant, as you can see there. Not sure what's going on. Haven't dug into it yet. Body turned out a lot better than I expected it to be based off of what the owner said. Not bad. Probably one of my favorite colors. Interior is pretty stock. Flat bottom steering wheel. An OEM SPT boost gauge, I guess. I've never seen those before. Some extra rotors and pads. Some suspension in the back. It runs and drives, as you saw earlier. And we'll have to dig into that head gasket issue. I don't know if I want to fix and sell this one. If it's a simpler sort of fix, it seems like it's some sort of head gasket issue. That's really the main thing that will mix oil and coolant. We'll just have to dig into it. I really do want to put a V8 in one of these chassis, either a GV, I believe are these sedans, or a GR chassis, which is the hatchback. But it's a lot of money and a lot of time, more so the time that I'm concerned about that it will take, and fabrication, all that sort of things. So I don't know if it's the time yet to do that. So yeah, that's planning this one, either part out or fix and sell. Depends on what we find out with the engine. The engine sounds okay. It might end up getting an EJ20X. I'm not sure. We got some options. But this one is out of New York, and that's all I'm going to bore you with this one. This one is out of Louisiana. We've got some sort of little crash bar on the front here. I've never seen one of these on an STI. Got some lights, some hella horns. I think it's got a skid plate. Let's see. Maybe not. Got some headers. Not sure what brand those headers are. We've got some aftermarket headlights. We got some nice Method wheels. I really like the Methods. Tempted to put them on my lifted 2017 STI. I wanted some Methods, but didn't want to spend the money on them. I had those OEM BBSs that were pretty beat up already. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. We've got a Noble titanium exhaust. We've got some Spider tail lights. Exterior wise, that seems to be about it. Mud flaps, front lip. We've got some Versus Engineering hood louvers, hood vents, whatever you want to call them. Not the biggest fan of them. They look cool, but I don't like cutting into OEM hoods. Interior wise, we got some interesting. Oh, it's locked. Let me go get the keys. You coming out, dude? I'm shutting the door. Always love the hella horns. Not really. I'm not a hella horn fan necessarily. Okay, interior, we've got a fake carbon fiber steering wheel. It is just a wrap. We've got Pro Sport boost and air fuel, I believe. Cobb access port. The other car does have a Cobb access port as well. We've got some interesting stuff in here. Some vinyl wrapped trim, an Alpine radio. I believe a likewise reverse lockout thing, which I've never seen that before. Some Ghost e-brake and shift boot. Yeah, this thing's kind of a mess, but it is what it is. Nothing else too exciting. Yeah, there's the likewise thing. Really, dude? Other than the interior being dirty, doesn't seem too bad. We've got new fender liners. There's some 2015 plus STI suspension in there. I think the stock blow-off valve, because this has a, or bypass valve, because this has a bypass valve in it. I don't think there's anything exciting in the trunk at all. Dude, get out of there. What are you doing? Get out of here, you little ding-dong. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Found a little slinky. Look at that. All right, let's take a peek under the hood. This thing's got some more mods under here. Interesting color combo. We've got some turquoise radiator shroud, boost controller, little cover thing, the little fender shroud things over here, battery tie down. We got a nice Cobb alternator cover, turbo smart blow off valve. You're so nosy. Nice Cobb intake. I believe we've got a Grimspeed cathead downpipe. Can't remember what header he said it was. Like I said earlier. Yeah, I think that is about it for this thing. I believe it's a stock turbo, mostly, unmodified engine, other than the things that you can see visually here. Plans with this one. Again, this would be a nice donor for a V8. This would also be a good winter car, just because it's a little beat up. It's already got like a theme where if you lifted it a little bit, it would look good. But I do already have my 17, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. Again, could be maybe an EJ20X. This one does have rod knock. I don't know if I said that. For sure rod knock. You'll hear it early in the video. I don't need to say it. You know what it is. So yeah, this could also get maybe a new engine. Probably not a brand new 257 like I just did in the previous video that you probably just saw. So it could get a 20X. I don't know. I've got lots of dreams and aspirations of what I'd like to do, but I can only do so much in terms of like custom swaps. Not experienced in that, and it takes a lot of time. Watch out, kitty. Dude. All right, exciting stuff. Got 2 new cars. I believe we've got another one getting picked up this coming week, and still looking to buy more, of course. I got to decide what I'm doing with them pretty quickly because I have to keep moving through cars in order to continue to make some good money. So not sure what I'm going to do. I don't really want to part them out just because I think they're decent cars, but they're higher mileage 08 through 14 STI sedans, which are not worth the most anyways. So it's tough to financially put an engine in them and make good money on it. An EJ20X though, that might be more of an option. You don't have to put a brand new engine together, but we will decide coming up here soon. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you watching. Lots of work getting done. Yeah, lots of fun stuff. Probably some more cars getting delivered here soon. Probably some more projects. Hopefully some more like personal cool projects, especially when spring rolls around. Again, appreciate watching. If you could do all the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, share, all those sort of things that help out my videos. I hope you guys are getting your projects done, and I will see you in the next video.